Well, hey guys, I've recorded this video because underbases can be kind of tricky, and I just want to make sure I show you what we're needing and what we're looking at. Not just from the underbase to make sure we have the correct underbase, but also to make the correct layers in order to create the correct underbase, as well as help us out whenever it comes to um, printing film. So, with that being said, this is the mock-up that has been approved. I'm using this one as an example. This is actually a made-up mock-up. So if you've seen something like this, just know that this is a template. So let's just assume that this mock-up was correct and approved. So what we do, just look at the sizes. We have obviously a front 9 inches. I'm not going to tell you how to do the back or the sleeve because you guys shouldn't be able to do that. But the biggest thing I see is there's 1, 2, 3, 4 colors in the front. That includes an underbase. And then that front is 9 inches wide. So what I'm going to do first, you guys, all of you guys kind of vary in how you save your art, but I save my art with just the total piece. So I'm just going to copy that, and then I'm going to locate, excuse me, I'm going to locate my 3-buck thread templates that you guys will have. Excuse me, you guys have something similar to this right now, but this is the new one. I'm going to click templates, separation templates, and this is just the one that's bare bones. And so first off, I'm going to go ahead and put it on here. So first thing I want to do is, I already copied it, so I'm going to just paste it right here. And the first thing that we did see, okay, was I'm going to group it, and we know that it's 9 inches wide, so I'm going to go ahead and make it 9 inches wide right now by selecting up here, clicking 9 inches, and bam, now it's completely 9 inches wide. So we got the right sizing. First thing, we don't have to worry about that anymore. Next thing I want to do, since there is white, and since we do have to make a PMS value for the white, we're going to use Cool Gray 4, which is, I've told you guys, which is typically what I'd like you to use. So I'm going to select the white right here, go to select same, fill color, and then here's the Cool Gray 4, which I told you to use. Bam, now that white is now Cool Gray 4. So we're good there. Since this is all ready to go, I'm going to go ahead and center it now on the template. So centering it, and it looks like the bottom's actually already centered nicely. So then I'm just going to select this guideline, move it down. And once I've moved it down, I'm going to shrink the artboard so we don't waste film. And bam. So if we were going to do this on a white shirt, which the white wouldn't have been gray, it would probably be a different color, but this would be all we do. But now we want to make an underbase. So the tricky thing about underbase is I could select it all. However, I only need an underbase under the white and the brown. So I do not need an underbase under the black because it just doesn't need it. So I need to first separate the colors out. So I'm going to go to layers over here so I can see what I'm doing. This is the newest template, which it has this. Currently right now, this whole thing sits in underbase. So we don't want it there. But what I would do first is go ahead and select the layers section, and I would go ahead and label the layers. So I'm going to name the first one black, the next one white. We already have an underbase one, so then I'm going to just go ahead and add this to light brown. So after that, I'm going to go ahead and do what we did before. I'm going to select the brown, select same, fill color. Now I've grabbed all the brown. Now I'm going to group that. So Command G is what I did. I grouped it. And then I'm going to go locate where this is at right now. So in the folder. So you can see right here, this is the group for the brown. So I'm literally just going to move it down to the brown section. So we're all good there. And again, I'm just making layers right now. So the next thing I want to do is make the layer of the black. So I'm going to select the black, select same, fill color. I'm going to group that, Command G again, and now that group's right there. I'm going to move it up to the black. So let's move that up. So layers have now been added, and then I only have one more, and that is the gray, which is actually white. So I'm going to do the same thing for this. Select, same, fill color, Command G for grouping it, and now it's grouped, and now I'm going to drop it in the white. The one thing you don't know of yet, since we've done that, is you can't really see if all colors are in PMS values. So before I move to the underbase, what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to start hiding now. So What that means is we've already have this down. I'm actually going to go ahead and move up the underbase to make it, let me get that up top. So it's pretty simple. Okay, so I want to hide the black, I want to hide the white, and now I want to hide the brown. Luckily for us, there's no other colors available. Excuse me, sorry about that. No other colors are available. So it looks like there's no PMS or there's no CMYK color. So we're good. Next thing I want to do is I know that I do not need the black for an underbase, so I could hide that. And then you could copy all of this and make an underbase. However, we need to select, or we need to create traps. We need to trap our underbase. And what a trap is it allows, it's a little bit, we're going to create a stroke around, around the design to make it just a little bit smaller for the underbase so that the white underbase does not show through if we're off in our registrations for the printing side. Now what that means is this: we do not actually have to trap the underbase on white colors, because if the white shows under white, you don't know that's an underbase. It doesn't look awkward. However, if I put a white underbase under that brown area and the white shows, you'll be able to see it. So we need to trap that to help out our printers. So with that being said, you can't just group this entire thing right here and then just copy it and make an underbase, because we need to actually select, we need to select the brown section to trap, if that makes sense. If that doesn't make sense, let me try it. Let me do it for you and see if this can. So we know that I want to do the light brown, so I can select the light brown right now. And I'm going to push Shift Option, which is basically copying it to the side. I just copied that image. I'm going to move it back. And now I've selected that image. Something might have happened there. So I'm actually going to try that again. Great. So I'm going to select, could do it this way, select same, fill color. It's all right here. I wonder why this is not showing up though. Interesting. All right, let me try this again. Select same, fill color. It looks like that color is not 729. So now let's make sure all the other colors are that. Fill color. Not quite sure what happened there, but let's try it now. Select same, fill color, and all right, everything's selected. So now what I'm going to do is I want to copy this, but instead of copying it and trying to line it up, I'm just going to push Shift Option and to the right, and then I'm going to go right back to it. Just shift that over, and now I'm just, since I have it, I'm just going to go ahead and select the underbase color, and now I have the underbase. Now I want to move that underbase, which is pretty simple. So I'm going to select the brown. We're highlighted the underbase, so I'm going to just go ahead and move that underbase up. Okay. Now here's what I was talking about. We want to trap this. So since this is all selected, I'm going to go to Stroke, and I'm going to drop down to 0.5. This is what we want to underbase, or this is how we want to set the stroke. The reason why we want to set the stroke for 0.5 is because when you make a stroke, it goes both outwards and inwards. You guys probably realize that, but the stroke's going to kind of form the inward, but we don't want to make this a PMS color. We're just going to make this a white CMYK color, or K, I'm thinking is what the color is. That way, it's actually not going to pick up and print that line out. So I want to make the stroke, so I'm going to do 0.5. It's made it black so far. I could do a black too if it mattered. However, we're going to make it white just because the background's white on this. So I'm just going to select a white CMYK. Oops, I need to actually select the stroke on that and just select white CMYK. And now that has a stroke on it. We could zoom in and we could look, and you could see how it cuts into it. So this perfect layer right here on top of it is going to be water. So I can also do this and hide the underbase so you can see it. See how the brown extends? So that's what we call stroke. There's another way you could do it if you wanted to, but this is probably more complex for this image to do it this way. But you could just make the underbase the same exact size, no stroke, and then you could actually stroke the PMS value, which will make that outline a little bit. And you do the same thing at 0.5. So now we have the underbase for that. Now we need to make the underbase for the white. So pretty simple, as we talked about earlier. What I'm going to do, excuse me, I'm going to select the white now in the image. That's the white, which is obviously Cool Gray 4. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to shift option, so I'm going to go right with it. So I just copied it and shifted right. Now I'm just going to move that image back to where it needs to be. And then I'm going to adjust that color as the underbase color as well. So bam, it's there now. I don't have to make a trap for it because, like I mentioned, you don't have to trap an underbase if the underbase is white and the image is white too. So we should now have the underbase all set, which is great. You would think we're done, but we're not. First off, we have to move that underbase up to the underbase section. So now we have the underbase locked the way we need to, which is great. I'm going to move this all right here so I can see everything. And now everything is lined up the way it needs to be. These are the layers. Now, you would think we're done, but we're not, because if you look closely, the underbase that I told you about that has a stroke, the stroke is now interfering with the black color. And we don't want the black to be, we need that black layer to form the way it is. If you see it, the black is going to move forward. But we need to make sure that that underbase is not covering the black part. So what I'm going to do, a lot of logos you don't have to worry about this, but for this one, you will, since there's a black. Most logos that have underbases might not have a black, but in this one, there's a simple solution to this, and now all I'm going to do is move this black forward like this. Bam. And now everything that should have an underbase has an underbase, and anything that shouldn't, that has a stroke shouldn't. And that is it. So now if we look at this image, here's the full underbase. It should be all selected. If you zoom in, you can see that trap right there. And if I take it out, oops, sorry. If I take this out, it's gone. So thanks so much for all of your help. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, please let me know. I could probably find another mock-up for you. And that's it.
Hey, sorry, I probably gave you that. No, you